Hello everybody and welcome to Backyard Gardening with Mr. Imhoff. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a gardening journal so that you can keep track of all of the plants that you're going to be growing this year. So for that we're going to need a few things. So today we're going to need a gardening journal. We're also going to need a ruler. And then we're also going to need a pen and a pencil so that we can take care of everything that we need to write down. So some of you may be wondering, why a gardening journal? Well, let me tell you, the reason we decide to do a gardening journal every year is it helps us learn and write down specific important facts we need to remember about what plants we're growing. So it helps us keep track of when we planted them, how long it took them to start growing, but more importantly, it helps us determine what we need to change for next year, whether it be planting them earlier, planting more of them. So there are really good benefits to a well-kept gardening journal. To set up our gardening journal today, we're going to get started and we're going to open up to the very first page of our journal. Alright, so on this first page we're going to make this our table of contents so that it shows and keeps track of everything that we're doing. Alright, so we're going to write out the table of contents at the top, and then we're going to number our pages all the way down, and we're also going to add our titles of our pages. So our first page here is going to be our seed starting list. Our second page is going to be a page completely dedicated to tomatoes. Our third page is going to be completely dedicated to peppers. Our fourth page is going to be completely dedicated to squash. And then our fifth page is going to be dedicated only to the wildflowers that we're going to be planting. So if you notice, I've skipped a lot of numbers down here and come straight down to number 20 right here. So on page 20 we're going to put in as our gardening notes. Alright, so our first page here is going to be our seed starting list. So we're going to write up here at the top, seed starting list. Alright, and we're going to need our ruler for this one, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line straight across right here, okay? And then we're going to draw a couple of lines down the side of it. So let's just get it centered and draw one right there, and then one right about there. Alright. Now, what we're going to do, and the reason why we drew these lines, is we're going to have different things we're going to keep track on this. So, our first thing is going to be the name of the plant. And our second thing is going to be the date planted. And then our third one here is the germination time. Now on this, with our germination time, we're going to talk about this more next week in our video. But right now, we're just going to get this journal started so that we don't have to worry about filling that stuff in later on. So on page number 2, that's going to be our tomato page. Alright, so at the very first line here, we're going to put the date planted. And then below that, we're actually going to put date. And then over here, we're going to write notes. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler. And we're just going to draw a line straight across there. And then right here, we're just going to draw a line down. Okay? It doesn't really matter if you get farther or closer, just so that you have enough space here where you can write your notes. Now the reason why we're doing this is going to be the dates that you're going to make your observations, write any notes that you notice about your plants. Alright, so then we're going to go over to our next page, and our next page is going to be page 3, and this is going to be our peppers page. And it's going to be the same as our tomato page. So we're going to come up here and we're going to put date planted. And then we're going to go one line down and we're going to put our date. And then our notes. And so we're going to just draw our lines across, just like we did with our tomato. And then we're going to put this right here and just run a line down so that we can keep track of our actual date. Alright, so our next page is going to be our squash. So our page 4 is going to be our squash. And then we're going to put our date planted. And then we're going to put our actual date here. And then our notes. And we're just going to draw our lines across and our line down. And then we're going to move on to our next one. So our last plant that we're going to worry about is going to be our wildflowers. And that's going to be on page 5. So we're going to do wildflowers. We're going to do our date planted. Our actual date. And then our notes section. And just like all the ones before, we're going to draw a line straight across. And then we're going to draw a line straight down. Okay? Alright. Guys, now that we have our last page for our plants done, we're going to flip over to this last page and we're going to write down our gardening notes section. Now what this section is going to be for is for anything that you might have questions on, that you notice about your plants, that you need help with. And what I want you to do is when you're on this page and you write down your questions, send them to me so that I can help you out. Okay, guys? Alright. I look forward to seeing you all next week, and y'all have a wonderful day.